As we approach the conclusion of today's sessions, we now present a final panel discussion on the new energy roadmap, navigating regulatory pressures, identifying scalable solutions, and bridging financial gaps for MSMEs that will provide insights and a practical roadmap for MSMEs to adopt renewable energy and energy-efficient practices through affordable financing and cutting-edge engineering. I welcome the panelists. We have with us Shri Thilakar R, Senior Director, Environment, Deccan Fine Chemicals India Private Limited. C.E. Larson Disa, Secretary, Solar Power Association of Goa and Director and Co-founder, LRAJ Green Solutions Private Limited. Shri Bhaskara K. Sanjay C., Assistant General Manager, Canara Bank, Goa Regional Office. Shri Shashank Kumar, Assistant General Manager, SIDBI, Goa. Shri Akshat Tyagi, Founding Director, Sustainable BioSolutions Private Limited. And a moderator, Dr. Inu Anand, Assistant Professor, Research, General Management and Public Policy, GIM CSSA. With that, I hand over the session to our distinguished panel for an engaging discussion.
First of all, thank you so much, ASSOCHAM, for providing us this opportunity to talk about, MSMEs and, the problems they are facing in these specifically three areas. And hi to the panel. I'm meeting them here only right now. And yes, so we have in India almost how many MSMEs? 5 crores? Almost nearing 6 crores, I guess, as per the recent data. Almost employing 25 crores of people as human resource. And among those, 45% of the MSMEs are exporting, are part of export. With the current scenario, we are signing deals, mother of all deals, daddy of all deals, and some of the FTAs also, which are, last year and all these things. We are focusing, the government is focusing a lot on exports also. Then on the other hand, there are a lot of regulations coming up, CBAM, some of the European regulations, German regulations, etc., etc. So in that context, this panel discussion is going to shed a lot of light because we have experts from solar energy to the startups, founders, banking, SIDBI, Canara Bank, etc. And they will share insights from many different perspectives. So again, I welcome them all. And yes, so now I would like to start with Mr. Thilakar, who is a Senior Director, Environment at Deccan Fine Chemicals Private Limited. And he's known for his leadership in environment domain. And if we see ESG, environment comes at the first ladder of ESG. So we start with environment, social and governance. So environment is at the top. So I think starting with Mr. Thilakar is very apt here. So Mr. Thilakar, given your leadership in environmental compliance and sustainability within a large manufacturing setup at Deccan Fine Chemicals, means chemicals industry, okay, that too. So I would like to know from you if you can suggest and discuss some scalable energy solutions. Right now, if we see the current scenario also, we have a lot of geopolitical conflicts going on, the oil war, etc., etc. So yeah, definitely we need to scale up some of the energy solutions. And so I would like to know from you what could be the possible scalable energy solutions that your unit in Goa has adopted. And what are the reasons why these were implemented? And what lessons can other MSMEs draw from your experience?
Okay. So I'll share the experience at Deccan actually. So Deccan has its presence in Goa for the last more than 50 years now. It has transitioned from SIBA to Novartis, Novartis to Syngenta, and Syngenta now it is Deccan actually. So at Deccan, we have more than a decade-long plan with respect to energy, efficient energy usage, and more sharp focus on sustainability. So we have three focus areas with respect to energy. So one is on transitioning from oil-based energy generation to bio-based energy generation. So at Deccan, we have nearly 60% of the energy what we use comes from renewable resources. So in that, nearly 97% of the thermal energy what we use at our site is from agro-based fuels actually. That is most important thing. So before transitioning into a renewable-based fuel usage, so we have sharp focus on energy management where we have a dedicated team of people, cross-functional team where they work at the shop floor, understand the energy guzzlers and identify areas for improvement. So we do energy audits, utility system audits to identify areas of improvement and we have fostered proactive culture of creating awareness among our employees to come up with energy conservation plan. And with that, we have implemented energy management systems based on ISO guidelines that also help us to conserve energy year on year. We have, for example, every year, last 5 years, we have conserved significant portion of energy that otherwise could have been wasted. So more importantly, we also practice operational excellence, which in that we focus on energy conservation, raw material conservations. We have a dedicated team of engineers and scientists work on process optimization and energy conservations, which help to reduce energy demand for our operations. And of late, we started moving from moving towards non-fossil based fuels. We have also installed solar panels wherein we harvest electricity and use in our plants. Actually, more than 30 lakh units of electricity we have been generated in the last 2 years, and which has been help us to considerably reduce the carbon footprints. Coming to MSMEs and their challenges. See, as there is no stringent regulatory challenges for MSMEs because the regulatory schemes are sharply like FAT is focused on energy intensive unit lights, iron and steel or aluminium and oil and gas. So the important focus for MSMEs are, as globally we are moving to a low carbon value chain where globally there is a focus on net zero. For example, European Union, UK, they have started declaring net zero goals. And even though it is localized, it is vary from companies to companies. There are regulatory agencies like European Union. They started carbon CBAM, where it creates a lot of opportunities for low carbon manufacturers within India, where as a company we should focus on what are the attributes, sustainable attributes of a product. We should encapture the opportunity for low carbon buyers within India and also abroad. So as a company, what we have to do, we have to adopt phase-wise transformation. We focus on energy efficiency, like we have to do energy audits, we have to invest on motors, energy efficient motors, having variable drives, so that first we start saving money, and that money can be invested on solar panels. So as a small players, we should work among ourselves and create a cluster which the cluster will invest on major investments with respect to having a bio-based community boilers, which can helps us to optimize the usage, go for have a good buying powers with the technology. This thing, if you go for a cluster-based boilers, cluster-based investments, which will help us to reduce the strain on investments.
Okay. Thank you so much. So you have, established many systems in your company. So coming to that, what do you think that MSMEs can do? I mean, some of the MSMEs cannot invest that much. So what are the various adoptions which MSMEs can do, which can lead to quickest return on investment regarding regulatory pressures, regarding other system establishments?
Okay, as I said earlier, they can have an adaptive approach, stepwise, phase-wise approach. That is point number one, and they can work on solar panels. I have a cluster-based investments on solar panels. There are models like REFCO models where the supplier can invest and have a panels in our own property and supply at a low tariff. That can be one this thing. Going for energy audits, having assess what is the area of energy usage, higher energy usage, and also working on a cluster based will help MSMEs to excel better.
Okay. There is one more challenge with MSMEs, when it comes to auditing, environmental auditing. So first of all, there is a little bit lack of clarity among them, and then the regulations are not that clear. So you have a lot of experience at, Deccan Fine Chemicals. So what do you think, what tools, what strategic tools, they can use, specific auditing practices which they can adapt even for a smaller unit, to meet the environmental standards and drive immediate operational cost savings, because it's becoming day by day very important. Even if MSMEs, suppose some of the MSMEs are not exporting, but they are part of supply chain, and under the regulations they come up. So what do you suggest in that case?
It's a good point. Actually, we work with a lot of MSMEs in our supply chain, upstream supply chain. So we go for audit at regular intervals to SMEs, and also what we encourage them is to do two audits. One is a waste audit and also an energy audit. So waste audit is more like conserving natural resources. So most of the MSMEs should understand that by doing a proper waste audit, we can not only conserve resources, and also we can save money, and also we be more compliant with respect to regulatory requirements. So one is doing a waste audit is paramount for a MSME, which will bring out how much resource they are using against what is required. So one is to understand what is the norm and against which what we are using. That will clearly come out with respect to waste audit. Second most important is energy audit. Energy audit, even though they use a little amount, they should understand, they should know what is the energy consumed per kg of product, or per unit of the product they manufacture. That will clearly, precisely help them to assess the area of intensive energy usage areas, and this will also reduce their cost effect, and also it will drive them to be more compliant. And any industry which is starting, they have some regulatory requirements which is given in the form of consent to operate, consent to establish, that should be taken as a Bible for them. There are various conditions given under the regulations in the form of consent conditions, specific or general. They should try to collate and correlate what is required in the consent, how they are operating. So in this, one is doing a waste audit and doing an energy audit and doing assessment of consent to operate and consent to establish conditions, and incorporate them in their business will help them to be more compliant.
Okay, thank you so much. I will come to you at the end now. So moving to one of the most important entity for MSMEs, which is the banking. And so we have Shri Bhaskara K. Sanjay ji from Canara Bank. And so first of all, congratulations for, getting the best bank in MSME acceleration in India. And so you got this award. And and Green Warrior Award also for their digital innovation. And so over the past year, your MSMEs lending has seen a remarkable growth of almost 12.5%. And that's a challenge actually, the credit part, the loans part for MSMEs. But you are lending a lot. You have a remarkable growth of over 12.5% over the last year. So can you tell something about that journey?
Yeah, thank you, ASSOCHAM, and good afternoon to all the panel members and the participants. Myself, Sanjay, and it's a wonderful journey to me, meeting our Deccan Fine Chemicals. Because in 2010, when I was working in Visakhapatnam, I was the part of the assessment of this company. Now, during the interaction, I could understand that it has crossed the 9,600 crore turnover of the company. Initially, the prediction was around 300 to 400 crore when I started in 2010, when I was part of Visakhapatnam team in assessing the limits. Their director, sir, Mr. Raju, sir, I still remember. And this was the reunion of a kind of thing to this company. So I have conveyed my sincere thankfulness to the company, and for growing in such a phased manner, like reaching a 10,000 crore remark is not an easy thing. And coming to Goa, I just joined during last year, taking charge of around 70 branches who caters the needs of MSMEs. So, as per the recent analysis released by Reserve Bank of India, our bank could register the number one place in the outstanding scenario by around 1,200 crore outstanding. And in terms of lending also, nearly 130 new units I could add to my kitty with a funding of nearly 200 crore. But the main challenge for me is the ticket sizes, which are very less. Still, I felt like I couldn't reach to many of the entrepreneurs. Maybe to meet their needs or to ascertain their needs and all, because we are based in Panji, and though our branches are 70 branches across Goa are there, still I feel like many entrepreneurs like in Varna, Ponda and all areas, I couldn't still reach to them. So I requested one of the people forms to ascertain the actual reasons why we were unable to reach to the common people. I always believe in the practical approach than the theoretical part and all. So they have recently made a survey and given us like understanding challenges of MSMEs, who is the chairman of our ASSOCHAM. Pallavi ma'am has given me this book. So when there was an interaction with her, I could understand that she had made a very good study through some firm to understand the challenges. So the moment I received it in the Feb second week or third week, so I have simplified it to 6 to 8 pages. So then I have sent it it's in the final stage. So I am planning to send it to my head office to design some area specified schemes based on the activities here. So that the firm has made a complete study of every area, so which is very useful to me. So through which I am going to have a more number of units to our fold. And many new firms, I understand that securities are the major concerns. Now government has enhanced the caps of collateral free loans also. So for new unit, this 1st April onwards, from the existing 10 lakhs to 20 lakhs for the petty small unit startups and all, up to 20 lakhs, it's mandatory to sanction without any collaterals and all. And credit guarantee coverage also enhanced to 5 crore, which is a good sign to the MSMEs for their further growth. Being the backbone of our economy, MSMEs, here itself is a big example is set in front of you, Deccan Fine Chemicals. So likewise, if the entrepreneurs are having a zeal to grow, definitely bankers are with them.
Okay. So in a continuation of what you said, how is the bank simplifying collateral-free lending, Bhaskarji? This is something, very problematic at times.
Exactly.
So how you are simplifying that?
You have tapped the exactly right question. Still, we need to, the entrepreneurs who are sitting here are highly educated people having very good access to their nets and everything. But there are entrepreneurs who have different ideas only, but who are not familiar with the latest technologies. So, in the this book also has suggested few things about that. So I myself are forming a team of people of 3 to 4 people who wants to visit, try to reach to the first. We are trying to tap the micro entrepreneurs. So there they got vast ideas, like whomever I am interacting, I am jotting down their requirements and all. I am suggesting them the suitable finances to them, and a digitalized lending is little far to them, but yeah. Small and medium entrepreneurs, those who have already registered a turnover of above 100 crores or something, so they are having a complete one-stop solutions with them, and we too have an integration with the GST sites as well as income tax websites and account aggregators. Earlier we used to call for so many details, उस बैंक statement लेकर आओ, यहाँ से वो दो ये दो, and now account aggregators after introduction we can generate everything. Last week we have tested with 20 lakh automatic sanction, hardly took 20 minutes.
Okay.
So that has worked wonderfully, and it is going to have a vast spread in the days to come. So digitally bank is looking forward to improve upon to a greater extent. 10 lakhs was already tested, and it has proved to greater extent. Whatever the teething problems have come, we have overcome. And now we are working for 20 lakhs also. Just last week we have tested it completely. So hopefully 1st April onwards that digital lending and STPs completely going to be stabilized.
Okay, so your TAT has reduced considerably. Okay, so you are also, known for green banking, a leader in green banking. So suppose there is a small unit in Goa. What are the top 2 energy saving loan schemes that offer the lowest interest rates for upgrading to energy efficient machinery? What you will suggest there?
Wonderful question. In Goa, area specific schemes, what I mentioned, because in my study I could understand so many conversions are really required to upgrade their existing machinery as well as energy savings also. So would like to hear from the other panel members also, so that accordingly I would like to suggest. As of now we have only a common scheme pan India with energy savings and all, solar installation, the only thing, and we have tested with a few units also. So based on the inputs receiving from the other panel members, I made up we are going to recommend a specialized scheme for the entrepreneurs with a very present scheme is having a ranging of 8 to 9% rate of interest with subject to other norms and all. So once I get the inputs from the other panel people, so that I'll be able to recommend a very competitive scheme to the management based on the, because many units I have seen upgradation as well as energy saving system, both are highly required, and whoever are coming to me, I'm suggesting them for the energy conversion part and all. They'll express their own concerns, lack of plot or something. So we are really working on that. From the last 3 months, I can say, whoever entrepreneurs coming to me, I'm taking their feedback, and really I have made a lot of groundwork now so far.
Okay.
So hopefully in a couple of months, I'll be completely prepared for recommending a state-based scheme. And EDC also, they don't have at present energy saving part and all. They are giving the funding to the local governments and all, but no specific funding I have seen so far. If they would have recently introduced, I am not aware. But we are going to come up with a wonderful product very shortly.
Okay.
So that will meet the needs to the small and medium entrepreneurs mainly. And anyhow, upgradation is time to time. The entrepreneurs are well aware of their upgradations. And we have a scheme since 2 decades, called TUFS and all, namely a technology upgradation funding scheme, where it's quietly suits to the needs of the entrepreneurs to upgrade their units.
Great. So thank you so much, Bhaskarji. I will come back to you later.
Thank you.
But right now I'm moving to Mr. Larson, who is Secretary, Solar Power Association of Goa and founder of LRAJ Green Solutions Private Limited. So I think very apt from banking to now I am moving to the solar part, energy part, where we left Bhaskarji. We are joining Larsonji. So you are the founder of Goa Solar Powerhouse, solar energy. You know, very, very important scenario in today's world. We are talking about green energy, and yes, when we talk about green energy, solar energy is the one which comes to our mind. So you have delivered customized solar solutions across sectors. You are recognized as the director of renewable energy for your contributions to solar in Goa. So what is the most common hurdle you encounter when installing solar power for small scale industries? And how can MSMEs better prepare their existing infrastructure to make the transition to renewable energy seamless? So we talk about just transition, but that is not very just. So how can we make it just? How can we remove the hurdles?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all, and thank you very much. Actually, when we talk about solar, the latest thing is all about solar. Solar, we try to generate electricity from the sunlight, and yeah, that is what we are basically looking at. But when we say, and when we connect to Goa Solar, where we are doing the solar installations, we are into commercial, we are into residential as well as agricultural solar. So we do all these projects. And coming to the hurdles that are there, when we have to plan a solar system, first thing that comes to mind is your energy consumption. First, we look at the energy consumption of that particular MSME. And the second part to it then would be to see how much space have we got to get that particular installation to go ahead and do that installation. And then we would like to go ahead and have a look, inspection will be done just to make sure that everything is in place and we can go ahead. And if there are any shortcomings, like sometimes you see on the bill that we have the requirement is about 100 kilowatt or whatever, but on the bill the sanction load is less. So then we have to go ahead with changes to or get the increase of load done. So now the paperwork comes into picture. So we need to go to the electricity department to apply for the load increase and all that. So again, when we go to getting this load increase done, there are again hurdles there, because as you know, department, they have their own process, and it takes time. And now coming back to the place or the MSME where we want to go ahead with the installation, then we will be looking at the earthing part. If the minimum, or you can say the resistance should be minimum there. As we all know that there is monsoons in Goa, so any lightning strike and all happening, and the damages to the equipment can be taken care of by having a proper earthing in place. So when I'm at the moment, madam, I'm also addressing the hurdles as well as how to overcome it. So if I'm saying there is a problem, but with the department I have not told you, because they have a process in place and they will always come with the required paperwork done or the orders to be done after they complete their certain procedures. So that will always take time. And I think I've covered now. Once the documentation part is done, then definitely we will go ahead with the installation. And once the installation is done and net meter is installed, or definitely the consumer or the MSME will definitely feel the benefits of the installation.
I'm just curious to know that, do we have some subsidies?
Yes, definitely. Definitely subsidies are there up to 90 kilowatt. There is a capping there.
Okay.
So, and for residentials, there is up to 10 kilowatt is the maximum we can say. So, The center gives 78,000 plus the state gives around 2,13,000. So it works out to around 3 lakhs on a residential thing.
Okay. So you have also pioneered, Goa's first private solar electric catamaran. Interesting. The MV LRAJ Green. Am I pronouncing it right? LRAJ?
LRAJ.
LRAJ. Okay. LRAJ Green, the first solar electric hybrid catamaran. So what are the key lessons from this project's transition to renewable energy, which can be applied to MSMEs in maybe other sectors? Which other sectors do you think can, adopt something like this unique thing you have done?
This LRAJ catamaran is Goa's first hybrid, private owned actually. So previously there is another project here in Goa which is electric catamaran, San Pedro, which is still lying there, not operated. So and when we talk about this boat also, I was there to operate it. It was built by the government, but then for some reason it is not operating. That gave us this, what you can say, the motivation to go ahead and build our own. Actually, Goa has a vast river line. It is about 105 kilometers sort of a river line. And when we are looking at this transition of solar energy and solar on land or for installation on houses, we need to then divert to marine. So when we talk about boats and all, it is all related to marine. And myself, I've been a chief engineer, so I used to sail in my earlier career. So I quit in 2015, then I started this solar company and now into solar. So again, that part was always there with us too, because we are marine engineers, so we know.
But where did you get this idea? Because I'm from Bombay. I used to travel sometimes by these type of ferries and all to Alibag and all. But this electric catamaran part, where did you get this idea?
Madam, as I told you, see, there is already one boat, San Pedro here, which is a solar electric hybrid. But for some reason it is not operating. So that gave us a chance, and I was there to operate it in the initial stage. But later on, it was, as you know, with the government, there is a tendering process, then the one who bids less will get it. So some shortfalls were there, and then it was given to somebody else to run. After that, it was not run properly, that sort of thing. And later on, there was the rats who had eaten up the wires, and it is still lying there. So that was and from there we took off to say, okay, we will build our own boat. But when we are looking at solar, the initial costs are high. So always with this boat also we were looking at a 4 CR order investment to go ahead and do it. And now we have planned a new boat as well. The design stage is done, 150 odd, and sir, definitely we will be coming back to you. Yeah, because funds is the main thing. Yes, thank you very much, sir. Yeah. No, we have gone to SBI also, but then you see the collateral part and all comes into play. Everybody says no collateral, but when you go there, there is collateral coming in place. So anyway, but see, especially when we are coming up with ideas like this building, we have put our own money. Actually, 4 of us, the 2 captains and 2 chief engineers, we came together to build this boat. But it is very overwhelming and very pleasing to see that the boat operates. Even those present here can visit the boat, no problem. It is there in Mandovi. If you want to make a trip also,
yes, no definitely. Yes, I would like to.
You can visit the boat, have a look at it. So what we have done there, so a similar concept can be used for MSMEs as well. Okay, nowadays in Goa we are looking at that part where batteries, already some MSMEs must have already incorporated it, but
which sectors do you suggest they can adopt?
See, I will explain this part where how the boat thing operates and how this can be incorporated in. I see. We have 2 propulsion. It is 40 kilowatt of propulsion, which is then driven by batteries of 90 kilowatt hour batteries. So if you make a calculation, it is about 2 hours of operation, but at full speed or full steaming. But never we are running 100%. So if we are running 50% of what we are looking at 4 hours of operation, okay, on batteries. Now to charge the batteries, we have solar installed. So it is about 12 kilowatt of system which is installed. And but one thing I can say with all this, when it operates during 11 to 3 o'clock in this range, not even 1% of the battery is drained.
Okay.
So the full battery stays as it is. So initially maybe during the morning hours, if you have run it and the battery is down to 80 or 85%, it will stay till 4 o'clock. So those 4 or 5 hours of operation plus those 4 hours with the batteries coming to around 9 hours of operation.
Okay, so maybe some sectors which are dependent on batteries, they can adopt this model?
Definitely. So especially MSMEs, see what happens when there is on-grid system, when the power supply goes, the full system is shut down. Whereas the backup is then provided by generators. Now we are bringing in a transition where we have solar installed, and then the solar will then power up the batteries or store inside the batteries, and in case of power supply, then the batteries will provide for the equipments, only the necessary ones. So because then the sizing of the batteries is becoming very high. So similar concept has to be taken up. Depending on the requirements of the MSMEs.
So maybe we can do some case study on that if you have not yet. Yeah. So thank you so much. Now I will move to Mr. Shashank, who is from SIDBI. So when I came here, there was a long queue outside for lunch. I told Fabio, I'm not fond of queues. So I always avoided. My mother used to take me to banks, SBI, when I was a child. I used to hate standing in queues. So, Shashank, many business owners are also afraid of long queues and the paperwork. So how is SIDBI making it easier and faster for a micro entrepreneur to apply for a loan online using their Udyam registration?
Right. Very good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'm Shashank. Let me introduce myself. I'm Shashank Kumar. Basically, I'm AGM SIDBI and presently heading Panji or basically Goa. It's a single branch over here, SIDBI, and we are managing with our 3 officers. One over again, he's also here. For now, this thing, how MSMEs or small industries, they can go with the bank and without lines and all. See, when we say MSMEs as the growth engines,
yes,
right? Then this timely and appropriate funding, that is the fuel that they require, and that is where the SIDBI comes, I would say. Now, how we help this thing, because we have various schemes which are dedicated basically for machineries finance only. Specifically for machinery finance. Now we are basically discussing over here majorly about energy efficient machineries. See, that means unit is already running. They had to take some additional exposure, some additional capacity addition. Old machineries are getting older. They had to replace it with the new machines like solar. Again, DG sets. They already have old DG sets, and now they want some new DG sets with the silent, energy efficient DG sets. In such cases, banks is also always there. We are also running along with banks. We have always been coming up with some innovative products which are given up the edge. Like for this machinery finances, we have a specific scheme where SIDBI is providing 100% finance, and that in 100% finance, the collateral part or the margin part, that is the margin is basically the 25% or 50, depending upon the customer's requirement rating. The margin part is kept with us as a collateral, and the remaining the 100% finance is done by them. Now regarding the lines and all of the systems, our application process, appraisal process, everything has gone online. Customers generally, many of in cases we haven't met our customers directly.
Okay.
I would like to say at Panji, this Goa branch, we have a portfolio of over 100 crores, 125 crores, and we have customers of nearby 70-80. So if you take the weighted average size of the loan, each customer, it's around 1 CR. Then means our focus is majorly on the micro units. Larger units, everybody is there to provide them loans, but micro, smaller, obviously definitions have increased. So these schemes, because our system, it is like it is dependent basically on those 4 parameters which is already available in market, like GST, your bank ITRs, CIBIL report. So we have schemes. One scheme we had named as Express, and this is very like STP based STP based this product is there, and only 4 parameters are basically which I am telling. These 4 parameters are required to appraise the unit, and in this we can finance up to 3 crores of machinery finance, and the TAT for this is for us is at the max 1 day or 2 days. If a customer is filing its application, complete application, we can sanction in principally sanction the loan by the end of the day, same day. And disbursements we have made within the gap of within the 3 or 4 days only.
Okay.
So for this scheme, it is very fast. Again, if some customers were not eligible under this scheme, we have another schemes similar for machinery finance.
Yes, so that's what I want to ask. Suppose if I say, I want to marry between your, products you offer and MSMEs or the customers who exist, how you will, map them up or match them up if I have to do a matchmaking?
See, these products are basically for everyone. Any MSME having Udyam registration, Udyam certificate.
Any
because
specific?
Any industry, any MSME, if they have Udyam registration, it is an MSME.
Okay.
You can define as MSME. And any manufacturing MSME service sector that we are doing. Right now, SIDBI is not, we cannot do trading, but other than trading, service sector and manufacturing, we are doing. So any MSME which can come to us, they can meet us, and we can easily fund them depending on obviously eligibility and all those things which banking parameters require.
So we would like to know some of the success stories here.
Success stories, we have few customers where we have given fundings, we have made fundings from the starting level.
Any particular case, if you remember, any particular story if you want to share with us?
See, there are various customers. Some like we are discussing about solar only. Solar, let's discuss solar. For solar, implementing the solar projects or rooftop projects, it basically gives 20 to 30% of energy saving to that company. We have implemented with solar projects, so many of our customers have implemented solar projects with us. We have funded them existing, and they have come to us telling that they are around 20 to 30% of energy saving. They are obviously in the today's scenario, competition is very much the only things which comes in the hand of the manufacturer is the margin from cost cutting, and cost cutting saving much bigger the unit, bigger the energy bills, and saving there 20-30% of energy saving there is definitely going to give them a bigger hand, a good hand over their competitors. So solar products we have done a lot of solar products. In fact, out of our portfolio, more than 50-60% portfolio is specific to energy efficient products for energy efficient products. Our few schemes like 4E schemes and end-to-end energy efficient schemes. It is 4E is like end-to-end energy efficient. That scheme we are running for almost more than 10 years. So we have been giving fundings into there. Under that, it's only for energy efficient machineries, any kind of machinery. Like for plastics, they have injection molding machines. Again, DG set, solar, all are covered over there. And similarly, there are various other, any kind of projects also, any energy saving projects which is just going on. We have another scheme that is green finance scheme, where any kind of energy projects, energy saving projects that can be taken by us. We generally look into that other than the normal standard term loan funding. There are similar simpler parameters, benchmark norms for those projects where they have funded. Tech solar, I have already told, we have also funded very different varieties of units in this Goa.
Okay.
Right.
So thank you so much, Shashank. I'll come back to you later.
Sure.
And Akshat, Mr. Akshat Tyagi, who is waiting since long. So he is a founder of Sustainable BioSolutions, and he works a lot on wastewater management. And he can tell briefly about his venture also. He's an entrepreneur, and then I'll maybe start with a few questions with you.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. So basically, SIDBI is a company that deals only in wastewater segment. We don't do traditional system. Our vision is to implement system. Those are prefabricated, ready to install, that consume minimal to no operation in terms of it doesn't require manual interference on a day-to-day basis. These systems are self-sustained, odorless, soundless, and when they reach the site, they are ready to be installed. So our timeline for finish a project is usually 3 to 4 days when our system is at a site. So that is what we are doing currently. And we are already doing these kind of installations in almost 24, 25 states in India. We are also exporting this product. In terms of energy, our system consume almost 70 to 80% less in terms of electricity. Some of our installations are in remote places where there is no electricity. So because of the less consumption of electricity, the system can be completely put on solar, as we were discussing solar. And for small MSME where there is less manpower, people are not there to run the plant, but for compliance purpose, they have to install wastewater treatment plants, sewage treatment plants. The system sits perfectly well for those micro and small companies. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we are 18% of the world's population and we have only 4% of water on the earth in India. So yeah, water is the biggest challenge. So Akshat, many MSMEs in Goa struggle with limited water supplies that block their growth. In that situation, now I'll talk about steps. What is the first step they should take in that case, that business owner? If you can walk us through your recent innovations and factories which recycle water efficiently, etc. And if you can link it up. So the first step an MSME owner, entrepreneur can take to solve this water problem, and how you did it, basically.
Sure. This is a very interesting question. I was listening to Molbio's presentation. The first step should be not to look for additional resources. The water which can be saved, first step was rainwater recycling. In Goa, we get almost 4 to 5 months of very heavy rains. But after monsoon, there are places where there is no water. So first step is saving the water which is getting wasted in your own premises. Like Molbio must be having a huge campus. That's why they can store water for maybe 4 to 5 months. So that is the first step, to not to waste the water that is coming through rainwater harvesting. Second is we always look for more resources of water. Like in some industry, there is heavy usage of water during in their processes. So but still, in terms of recycling the wastewater, they don't have efficient system. Either they are doing for the sake of compliance, and they are not reutilizing, they are not achieving that standards what their process needs. So on those cases, they are just doing wastewater treatment for the sake of compliance, but they are not reusing in their own processes.
Okay.
And they have a mindset, like for example, traditional system, they were not good. Like 5 years back, the compliance is totally different. The water which was required by the compliance, it cannot be reused. But today we have very efficient systems that can provide water that can be reused for any processes, even for food industry where water is part of the main component of the product. So there are systems. So first is reusing, recycling, and not wasting it. That should be the core priority. And we also do those kind of a system that are very energy efficient, easy to operate. There are other good companies doing similar system, but the awareness part should be there, that water is very important, as you have said, for small micro industries. If they don't have much manpower and space, we have systems that are very compact and efficient. But awareness should be there in terms of reusing and recycling, not to look for another resource from where we can get the water. First, we have to stop wasting it. That should be our first priority.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. awareness is actually very important for any of the issues we face. So, Akshat, can you share any case study where your technology has helped any Goan unit, any Goan MSMEs overcome these, water shortages and problems?
Sure. I will not disclose the name, but we were working with a small food processing unit in Goa. So they don't have much of a groundwater. They were buying through tankers. So their process requires almost maybe 1 lakh liters of water per day. That was a small unit. But the process water, wastewater was almost 70% of it. They were not able to tap it to reuse in their system. And they were putting like 30% of their cost of raw material is water itself. So there we have implemented a recycling unit, and they were able to recover 95% of their wastewater. That helped them to reduce their operational cost almost 30 to 40%. That is a good example. And the biggest mall in Goa, we have installed a system there around 10 years back. So there also they don't have a water connection. They were buying through tankers. So their water consumption was almost 1 lakh liters again. So we have put that system. It is working from last 10 years. That 100% water is recycled and reused in toilet flushing, cooling tower, water recycling, and all those purposes. So these are some of the examples that we have implemented, and we have like more than 100 plus of these kind of cases where this water is used as a resource, wastewater is used as a resource for their process.
Okay, interesting and impressive. Akshat, many MSME owners fear that green systems like STPs or biogas plants are too expensive to run and complex to manage. Sometimes though we don't, if investment is the other thing, we think that things are very complex and we don't get into it. So how can a small scale manufacturer use automated low power systems to meet pollution norms also, so that the regulations part is also taken care of while reducing their electricity and labor costs?
See, first of all, this is a myth that treatment is not efficient. It requires a lot of manpower. It requires a lot of energy. So this is a myth. It might be correct around 10 years back. For traditional system, they require a lot of electromechanicals. Now I'll give you an example of our system. Till 40 or 50 KLD, like 50,000 liter per day, you don't even need a pump to run the system. It's a gravity-based system. The aeration blowers that we put, they consume almost 80% less electricity. So that is the main requirement in any biological process, to provide oxygen in the system. We don't have those kind of air pumps in India. We are importing it currently, but they consume zero as in you don't need to do any kind of a maintenance in these kind of air pumps, and they are completely silent. For example, in residential areas, most of the STP doesn't perform because there are complaints of sound, which is not the case. In MSMEs, also people don't want to depute their core people to run the STPs or effluent treatment plant, because their main job is production. Their main job is not to put their resources in maintenance of these kind of systems. But the modern systems are totally opposite. They are not like that. And in terms of electricity, as I have already told, a traditional system, if a small traditional system consumes 5 kilowatt hour, our system will consume 0.5. So it is almost 90% less. It can be put on solar, and manual interference is not at all required. Nowadays, we all have very good sensor-based system. You can see the parameters. You can operate the plant from your phone itself. So technically, it is a myth. Good systems, they doesn't require any manual interference, and they are just plug and play. And these are available, very readily. It's just about the awareness. People have to come out of that mindset that these treatment plants are very costly to, in terms of put like capex and opex. It is not the case.
Okay, so maybe as you mentioned before, the awareness part is very important for people and to burst their myths also. Yeah, so thank you so much, Akshat. Now I'll come to Bhaskar ji. Yeah, so one important thing after listening to everybody, I would like to know from you is that any recent development that your bank is doing or spearheading to bridge the MSME credit gap, which is something troublesome for many MSMEs, and what makes Canara Bank unique for MSMEs compared to other lenders in terms of credit?
Yeah, I have already mentioned, ma'am. It was a wonderful question. The STP journey, what we have adopted for the 10 lakhs funding part is quite successful. Now we are moving forward with the 20 lakh automated lending, where it will be hassle-free and completely STP based. Though the customers are not having any idea with regard to the digital lending part, respective branches are taking care to meet the same. So I hope this limit, whatever the benchmark is there, will be enhanced in the days to come. And we have a complete dedicated MSME hub, which I am taking care. So along with my team comprising of 12 to 13 people. So apart from the marketing setup. So we have a huge spread of 69 branches across Goa state. That will be catering the needs in that way as compared to many public sector banks. We are having a huge base and a dedicated area at Madgaon also we are having, and now we are planning this side of Goa also. So we feel ourselves already we are having the unique futures for borrowers to serve.
Okay. Yep. Thank you so much. So one last question, which is common for all. I would like brief final comments from each of you on that. So the key challenge for our MSMEs is compliance, energy transition, and finance gap. So you all are expert in different domains. Some of you in the compliance part, some of you in finance part, some of you in energy part. So what suggestions or what feedback or what is something you want to give as a mantra to MSMEs regarding this? So I'll start from Thilakar ji.
So my suggestion could be, first we have to know where we stand. So we have to set a baseline. First, we should know where we are standing now. So that will set where we have to go. So we should know what is our compliance today, what is our compliance level, what is the requirement, what is the gap between the requirement versus up to what extent we are complying. That will give a roadmap for transition. So the most important thing for MSME is to focus on what is the gap between the requirement versus actual. So that will give a clarity on where to work on. Either it can be with respect to energy requirement or energy cost, or with respect to compliance with respect to regulatory requirements. First, we should know where we are today. That will give clarity on way forward plan.
Okay, thank you. Over to Bhaskar ji.
Understanding their needs, as I mentioned already, and as compared to the olden days of last couple of years back, I have seen many files which were having a huge TAT, like more than 2 to 3 months it used to run from here and there, window to window. In the recent past, last 1 year, I can say single window system has been brought by many IDCs. So some have already made complete 100% and some are in the process of the same. So with this, I hope things will be improving in a very better way in the days to come, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Now I'll move to Larson, Mr. Larson, for his final comments.
As the role of a secretary, we are always looking at policies, and as you may be aware that 31st of March, our solar policy for Goa is expiring. So last few months, I would say, we are in constant meeting with the GADA officials or CM sir. So with regard to renewable, to renew this policy. Why? What happens when you renew? It takes time. So there is a gap created. When a gap is created, then the client is in a doubt whether he will get subsidy or not subsidy. So it has happened previously. So and now definitely the policy has been renewed, and it has been renewed for the next 3 years. So it is in place now. So that is what is happening. And like Bhaskara sir said, with the department also, we are looking at pushing in having a single window sort of thing. So and with a timeline. So if any what you can say paperwork has gone through, then minimum timeline of 1 month. If it is not gone through, then it will be automatically given a yes to go ahead. And then of course with compliance, whatever requirements are there, it has to be met. So that is what we are looking at. And third part is the RESCO model, I would say, where the third party will come and install the solar for you, where you don't have to invest your capital. And then the PPA will be signed, and predetermined power tariff will be determined. And probably this what you can say, the contract may go in from 15 to 25 years, after which the plant, the asset will be then transferred on to the MSM. So basically this is what the plan is. And it is already in place, it's not yet, but awareness is the key, I would say.
Oh, thank you so much. Now over to Shashank ji for his final comments.
Well, to MSMEs, I would say keep, whenever you are looking for any kind of your financial requirements, I request everyone to please come and visit to SIDBI. There would be some other product which would be available with us. Regarding collaterals, we have already told, I have already told regarding our schemes where collateral is not as such required. Your margin is the only collateral. We don't even charge for CGTMSE there. Again, you must be aware CGTMSE is a subsidiary of SIDBI. And for Goa only, CGTMSE coverage is 90%, which is higher than anywhere else in the country. So SIDBI is doing things for MSME, and I would like to say that SIDBI is not just a lender. We are like a long-term. We worked at long-term growth partners for them. So please come to for any loans. When you decide think for loan, just at least come to us, visit to us. We will guide you somewhere better. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to Mr. Akshat for his final comments.
So I would like to advise the MSMEs, if they have to do some compliance in terms of wastewater, solid waste, or anything related to recycling, they should look at those compliance things very seriously, because these are not just for the sake of getting an approval or a certificate. These are the need of we are building a nation where we have very limited resources. For example, the 12% of the population reside in India, but we only have 4% of waste resources as in terms of fresh water. So we are already in that scarcity situation. So as a industry, we should think about not to waste that resource, because once it is gone, it's for cleaning water, it requires facilities that has to be decentralized. We cannot depend on government to clean our shit every time. If we are polluting, we have to do recycling at site. So that should be, we have to take this thing very serious. It is not a waste, it is a resource if we do it properly. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. So with this, I am thankful to all my panelists for shedding light on different issues. So what we have got to know is that we have solutions for almost everything, but we have to, move from awareness to action, which is the ultimate, important part. And yes, sustainability is a business advantage. It's not a burden on any one of us. So with that, I close this session. And do we have time for question answers, Darshana? If anyone has, we can have 1 or 2 questions, because we have such a esteemed panel here, and you can gain a lot from, their expertise. So if anybody has a question. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, that would be great then. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. Let's give them a big hand of applause.
Thank you to our esteemed panelists for a thought-provoking and engaging discussion and for bringing diverse perspectives to the table. Gratitude completes every endeavor. As we draw this enriching afternoon to a close, it is now time to finally acknowledge the collective effort that made the Manufacturing Conclave 2026 a success. On behalf of the organizers, ASSOCHAM Goa State Council, I have the privilege of proposing the vote of thanks. I extend my sincere gratitude to our honorable guests and distinguished dignitaries for gracing this conclave and for their invaluable presence and guidance. I would also like to express a heartfelt thanks to all our speakers and panelists for sharing their insights and enriching us with their knowledge and experience. A special note of appreciation to our esteemed partners, our gold partner, Desserts and More, our banking partner, State Bank of India, our silver partner, Ganpat University, Center of Excellence, our logo support partners, SIDBI and Canara Bank, our outreach partners, Goa State Industry Association and Verna Industries Association, and our magazine partner, Business Goa, for their support and contribution in making this event a success. We also extend our sincere thanks to Vivanta by Taj for their warm hospitality and excellent arrangements. I would also like to acknowledge the efforts of our technical team and photographers whose seamless support ensured the smooth execution and documentation of today's event. I also extend my thanks to ASSOCHAM Goa State Council, the organizing team, facilitators, and volunteers whose efforts have made this conclave possible. Lastly, I thank all the participants for your active presence and engagement. With this, we come to the close of today's conclave. Thank you and have a pleasant evening ahead.